Hey guys, it's Kelly and I'm the car mom. I am here at RP Exotics here in St. Louis, and check out what's behind me. A freaking Rivian R1S, Rivian's brand new SUV, and today we're going to review it. My review is going to be a little different than the other ones on the internet though, because we're going to be talking about it from a mom's perspective. I brought car seats, I brought a stroller, I brought a giant cup, and I want to know if this thing is as family friendly as people are saying. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the car mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of two, almost three, and I'm a certified child passenger safety technician. Thank you so much for tuning in. Comment below about which of their mom cars you want to see, and let's get started. And if you are currently car shopping, make sure you check out all of our amazing online resources, including a brand new course all about buying a car. It tells you everything you need to know about buying a car or trading in. You can purchase it right here on my website. There'll be a link in the description box below. Now this is the R1S. It's a completely electric 3-row SUV. Size-wise, it's comparable, I would say, to something like the Ford Explorer. So it's on the mid-size of the mid-size SUVs. It has seating for 7. You have a bench in the second row and then 2 seats in the third row. And it is loaded with a ton of just like fun features. Like, we love to see a car manufacturer think outside of the box. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, to start, here's what our key looks like. Camping vibes. How fun is that? In addition to this key, they also have a credit card key, they have a wristband key, or you can download the Rivian app and access everything on your phone as well, which is so exciting. Taking a look at the front end, I am such a fan of like a boxy SUV. I always have loved boxy SUVs. I drove a Ford Expedition for reference. I like when they're boxy. This car is so unique in its design. It kind of looks like the Time Hop dinosaur, if you know what I'm talking about. We'll put a picture right here. Good luck on seeing that. But nonetheless, I think it catches your eye. I think it's fresh, it's futuristic. And like, for lack of better words, it's just cute, right? Let me show you what happens when you get into the hood of the vehicle, because obviously this is an electric vehicle. So the only thing we have underneath here is some storage. You just double tap on the key. It's power, it lifts right up, and then we're met with a seriously nice size compartment. And then it's insulated right here, so you can literally ice it down and put like some juice boxes for the kids' soccer games. Let's get my stroller and let's see if it fits. I'm gonna say no. Not this Alpha Baby Vista, maybe a more compact single stroller, but yeah, that's not gonna close. But it's still some nice storage. We'll have to give it a try when we get to the trunk. I do appreciate this front space is illuminated. You have a cargo net and you have a little emergency button in case like you were ever to get stuck or escaped. Rivian logo underneath there. Okay, taking a look at the side profile, again, such beautiful, nice, boxy lines, obsessed with it, and some kind of unique features on the side too. If you look, there's 3 little dots right next to the headlight. You press that, that's actually where you charge the vehicle. Very discreet. So instead of having something on the side of the car, I mean, you wouldn't even know it was there unless you knew what you were looking for. Moving on, we have some nice 22-inch rims on this model, looking beautiful. I'm honestly just like loving her in white. I think it looks great. I love all the black elements that they include on the car. Our Rivian logo with a little bit of yellow behind it. That's kind of like their signature color, matches the brake pads if you look at that. Door handles are also kind of unique. They're completely flush into the car, but if I go to unlock it or just walk up next to it, then they'll open up and I can open up the door. So that's kind of cool as well. A little bit of Rivian badging right here. I think that's a really nice way to kind of put some blank space in this pillar. And then we move around to our back end, starting with some wraparound taillights. Okay, taking a look at the back end, again, we're like loving the boxy angles. We have a huge light bar with some Rivian badging underneath here. I don't normally love a light bar, but there's something about all these proportions that is really appealing to my eye. I also like how large the Rivian badging is right here. I think that looks really nice. And then some R1S badging down there. Only thing that's gonna be a little bit of a for me, this is a small windshield. I am nervous to see what the visibility looks like, especially with passengers riding back there. So we will have to take a look. So that's a little bit about the exterior. Let's hop into the interior. I'll show you some more of the features and then we'll talk about the car seat setup. Okay, before we go any further, we have our first little like fun feature. Built into the door, we have a built-in flashlight. It's the little things for me, people. I think that's a pretty fun little feature. I also think the side cubbies are kind of interesting. It's made with like kind of a cloth material, but you can expand it a little bit to make it a little bit easier for access. It's not the biggest side cubby in the world, but I don't know, I thought that was kind of like a fun little addition. Okay, take a look at this interior. First of all, the seat design is very unique, very stunning. Rivian built into it, and I'm loving this little fabric that goes down the seat that also matches the floor mats of the vehicle. And the mats are like literally a mat, like not carpet. Like that's genius to not put carpet in there. It's like an easier to clean material. I'm actually super excited about it. Wow, to up here we have the most beautiful panoramic sunroof. You can't open it though. I'm okay with that. What's giving me pause is there's not even a shade. Like this is it, which I understand that it's tinted. It's not fun to look at the sun though. Like I still can't believe there's not a shade to close it with just a little bit more. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Let's break down everything that's happening here. Here's our additional keys I was talking about, your bracelet and your 2 credit cards, and then of course the phone as well. That's fun. This is also a wireless charger with little mini Rivian logos. I'm sorry, darling. Darling. Inside here we have our center console with 2 USB-C chargers. Actually very deep, like swallows the arm. We love to see it. Then I was wondering where the cup holders were because, you know, I obviously brought my giant Stanley cup, and I was left with disappointment when I discovered it's this. That's interesting. And there's so much space around here. I'm surprised the cup holder situation isn't a little bit better. Just something to know. Okay, underneath here, another fun little feature. We actually have a built-in Bluetooth removable speaker that can double as a camping light, and it actually charges while it's in here. That's pretty freaking cool. So it's like we can do all of this and we do these cup holders. It's interesting. And then I love this open space right here, perfect for like throwing a phone, a purse, something like that. I just think it's nice, kind of gives that open cabin-esque feel. Okay, so that's all of that. Are you ready to dive into this infotainment system? So minimalistic. There is so few buttons in this vehicle. Everything gets controlled on this screen or on this screen. So the question is, how user-friendly is it? Well, I think it depends what you're trying to do. I've been playing with it for a while, and a lot of it is pretty standard. Like the navigation system is great. The climate control is interesting. There are some buttons, but quick buttons pulled out here, which I obviously really like. Things like our ventilated seats, heated seats, temperature. But the craziest part is, if you want to control the fan, you have to go to your climate, select which fan, and then move it this way. So like look down here. Do you see those moving? Talk about an extra step I didn't ask for. But anyway, I like the tech. It's just, this seems a little clunky to me. I just always have a problem where like they throw all the climate control inside of here. To me, it just like adds extra clicks I didn't need when I just wanted to control my fan speed. There's also a pet mode, which is pretty cool. So that way you can leave your pet in the vehicle while you step away. You make sure the vehicle is nice and cool, nice and safe. I think that's always a fun feature. So that's our climate control. Here's what our navigation system looks like. Here's a shot of our different cameras. We have front camera, backup camera, surround view camera. There's honestly cameras all over the place. And then there's also a ton of other fun features as well. There's something called camping mode. And then there's also this really cool feature, let me get back to it, called Gear Guard, where it's not set up yet. You have to set it up in your app, but you can basically set an alarm on your vehicle, and then the cameras around the car would start recording if someone like bumped into your car or got too close, and then it would save the recording to here. So I mean, kind of a cool extra use of those cameras, if you ask me. So that's a little about the infotainment system. Again, so minimalist on the buttons. Like the only real buttons we have are our hazards, which is government mandated to have an actual button. Everything else is in here. You'll notice there's not even a stop start button. Now we see that in a lot of electric vehicles, but basically when you're ready to start the car, you hop in with your key, the vehicle assumes you're ready to start it up, and then you can just put it into gear. There's nowhere to turn on or off the vehicle. A couple of other like crazy things in here. You have 2 little scrolls right here. Now these are customizable buttons. So right now it's default to talk about my volume button, but if I wanted to do things like adjust my mirrors, I'd actually have to go into the settings, click adjust mirrors, and then I could use these things to adjust my steering wheel or my mirror as needed. Kind of cool, kind of clunky. There's also something called car wash mode. Car wash mode would turn off all of our charging ports, mute our parking sensors, turn off auto wipers, basically just like get your car like all safe and ready for a car wash. So anyway, that's a little about the infotainment system. I'm ready to hop to the second row and start talking about some of those features, but first, let's take a look at this visibility because it is average. It is a very, very small windshield, and this second row is nice, but it's a little bulky. Like I can't see out that window very well. I would have loved to have seen a rear view camera installed here just so I feel like I'm gonna have passengers back there. I mean, if I have an adult or a tall car seat there, I'm not seeing anything out of that middle seat, which is a little frustrating. And then before we hop to the back seat, I want to show you one more little hidden cubby. This is available on both sides. It's just like the smallest little compartment, but underneath your seat, which is kind of fun. I don't know, keep a sunglass or a snack there maybe. Okay, let's hop to the second row. All right, second row. This seat set for myself, pretty good knee clearance. I'm impressed with my head clearance. I mean, obviously it's kind of like a taller, boxier car, so that feels nice. The seats are honestly very firm. So if you like a firmer seat, you're gonna be happy. These are borderline hard, not in an uncomfortable way, they're just firm. It's a 60/40 bench, so we have this seat and the middle seat attached, and then this passenger seat is independent on its own. I'll show you third row access and car seat setup in just a minute, but first let's break down our door panel. So one major thing that's missing, sunshades. Would have loved to have seen sunshades, but we do have that same kind of side cubby with this expandable side, which I think is kind of fun. And then we also have a pocket back here. And then on the back of the headrest, we have a USB-C with a little hook as well. So I'm assuming you could hook up like a tablet or something like that, but if not, you can at least charge up here. And then there's also 2 more USB-Cs down here with all of our climate control. Vents are here, no ceiling vents in this car. But in the third row, they're actually on the side panel, which is a little bit better. So ventilation, just okay, not great for kids in car seats. Okay, let's start by talking about the car seat setup. So in the Rivian R1S, 4 sets of lower anchors. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 tether anchors. So that's pretty good from a hardware standpoint. However, there are some issues with the bench seat, which makes it not my favorite candidate for 3 across or multiple car seats. And that is one, the size of the middle seat. Very small, especially compared to the outer 2 seats. Also, we have a little bit of a seatbelt overlap issue right here, which can make installations a little bit harder as well. I did install a car seat in the middle and I felt pretty good about that installation. I had a Clec Flow installed in the middle. However, where I ran into trouble was then what's going to happen on either side of it. Then it got very difficult to put another car seat here or a passenger here. And additionally, then it can start to affect some third row access. If you put a car seat in the middle, you have to make sure that it doesn't go too much overflow because then you completely lose your third row access. So this is a car that they're hoping to sell. So I'm not comfortable like shoving 6 different car seats in here and potentially like damaging something. So no, for me, I'm going to say it's not a good 3 across candidate. I think it's going to fit 2 car seats well on the bench. I think 3 is going to be very difficult. I'd like to see this middle seat a little bit wider, and I'd like to see this little seatbelt issue taken care of as well. All right, I'm happy to report that the rear-facing Clec Ling actually fits very nicely. So again, this seat's set for a tall driver like myself, and I have just a few inches of clearance, which is beautiful. I also appreciate that the doors, it's not a complete 90, it's actually not even close to a 90, but it does feel pretty wide. Like I don't have an issue getting the car seat and my pregnant belly out of there, so that feels nice. Plus these seats can both recline and they're on tracks as well. Okay, so for third row access, it's super easy. It's just a button at the top of the seat. We're just gonna hit that. The seat back's gonna slide forward and the seat's gonna slide up. And now we're gonna hop back to the third row. First thing I'm loving, there's only 2 seats back here. So it's like they're 2 nice, comfortable seats. Look at how wide and flat these are. Love to see it. 2 sets of lower anchor, 2 tether anchors. Honestly, probably pretty decent for a forward-facing car seat. Vents on the side, which is very nice for ventilation. Cup holders. And underneath here, we have a little extra storage and a USB charger as well. We also have our own little sunroof. So like there's a little bit of a break right here, but then we also get some of the nice glass. I'm honestly pretty comfortable. I mean, my knee clearance isn't amazing, but it's not horrible. And my head clearance is so good and the seats are so nice and wide that it's overall honestly pretty comfortable. So first thing that's fun, it's a split trunk. I love these because how many times have you gone to the grocery store and like opened up your trunk and then something flew out of it? I love when vehicles do this. I think it should be a standard feature. Plus, when you put it down, then you have like a nice place to sit on the tailgate, which is also so fun, especially with this being like an outdoorsy vehicle. Okay, like now you have like a little built-in bench, a changing table perhaps. We love to see it. Underneath here, we also have some additional storage as well. Oh, and look at that, the actual window sticker. $77,000 was this vehicle's original MSRP. They are going for well over that if you can get your hands on one though. Okay, so a little bit of extra underneath there. Another super cool feature about this Rivian R1S is in the trunk, we actually have a built-in air compressor. So that way you can inflate your tires, inflate like a beach ball, an inflatable mattress, whatever you need to do. Like that is such a genius feature to be put into cars. We also have an additional household outlet and 12 volts right there, which is also super exciting, and the ability to put down our seats from the trunk as well. Now, here's where they made a mistake. The only way to put down the third row seats are to do that. Okay, whatever. That's not horrible. I can do that. There's no way to get them back up. Like I will have to climb in there. There's no, we don't have a tether. We don't have power. We have nothing. I will have to climb in there to put it back up.
You are good.
All right, we have an Up Baby Vista stroller versus the Rivian R1S with the third row up. Oh, y'all, that fits very nice. Don't let that fool you. That fits nice. All day. All day. I'm really excited about this electric option for families. So just a quick little summary. I feel like 2 car seats all day long. I feel like kids in the third row, probably. Where I think you're gonna get into trouble is 3 car seats or more, not necessarily because of the hardware, but because of what that access would look like. If you're gonna have 2 car seats on those outboard seats, that third row is going to be very difficult to get to. And unfortunately, that middle seat just is not gonna get like the stamp of approval from me. I'd like to see it wider with no seatbelt overlap. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I have a ton more videos coming, and I'll see you next time.